My child, listen to me carefully. You have been feeling it lately, haven't you? Something inside you has been shifting. Even though the circumstances around you may look the same, something within your heart has begun to change. The way you think, the way you respond, the way you see your future, it is not exactly the same as it used to be. That feeling is not random. A shift is coming. You have spent a long time in a season that tested your patience. There were days when it felt like nothing was moving forward. Days when it seemed like every step required more strength than you thought you had. Days when the silence around you made you wonder if anything was changing at all. But even when you could not see it, change was already beginning. You thought the waiting meant you were stuck. You thought the delay meant you were being held back. But in reality, this season was preparing you for a shift that could not arrive before you were ready. Some things must change inside you before they change around you. And that is exactly what has been happening. You have grown in ways that are difficult to measure. You have developed patience that did not exist before. You have learned to slow down when your instinct was to rush. You have learned to trust even when you did not understand what was happening. That kind of growth is not visible to everyone, but it is powerful, because when the shift arrives, the person you have become will be ready to receive it. If these words already resonate with your heart, take a moment to press the like button. It helps this message reach someone else who is standing on the edge of their own breakthrough. You have been sensing that something is different. Certain thoughts that used to control you no longer have the same power. Certain fears that once felt overwhelming are beginning to loosen their grip. Situations that used to drain your energy no longer affect you the same way. That is not coincidence. That is transformation. When a shift is approaching, the first signs appear inside your heart. You begin to feel less attached to what once defined you. Old doubts lose their strength. Old patterns begin to fade. And even though the outside world may not look different yet, the foundation within you is being rebuilt. You may not realize it, but you are not the same person you were a year ago. You see things differently now. You respond differently now. You carry wisdom that only experience could give you. And because of that, the next season will not look like the last one. There were moments in your past when you thought certain doors would always remain closed. Moments when disappointment made you question whether your path would ever change. Moments when you believed you might remain in the same place forever. But seasons are not permanent. Change is already beginning. Sometimes the shift arrives quietly. It does not always come with dramatic announcements. Instead, it begins with small movements, subtle opportunities, unexpected conversations, new perspectives that open doors you could not see before. One day you suddenly realize that something which once seemed impossible is now within reach. That is how shifts often happen. Slow preparation followed by sudden clarity. If you want to keep receiving encouragement during moments like this, subscribe to God Says Daily so you do not miss what your heart needs to hear. You have also been learning something important during this season. Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength under control. It is the ability to remain steady while everything around you feels uncertain. The patience you develop will soon make sense. Because when the shift arrives, many things may begin to move quickly. Opportunities may appear faster than you expected. New responsibilities may emerge. New paths may open that require courage to walk. And the strength you built during waiting will help you navigate that change. You are not stepping into the next season unprepared. You are stepping into it equipped. There were moments when you thought your progress had stopped. Moments when you believed your story had paused while everyone else continued forward. But what you could not see was the work happening behind the scenes. Just like seeds grow beneath the soil before they ever break through the surface, Transformation was already underway. Growth often happens in hidden places, and when the moment arrives, what was invisible suddenly becomes visible. That is the kind of shift that is approaching your life. You may notice it in small ways at first. A new opportunity that aligns with your values. A new connection that brings encouragement. A new idea that sparks excitement in your heart. These moments are signals. Signals that the season is changing. If you know someone who feels like they have been waiting forever for something to change, share this video with them. It may remind them that their shift is closer than they think. You are not the same person who entered this season of waiting. You carry resilience now. You carry wisdom now. You carry patience and discernment that will guide you in the days ahead. Those qualities are preparing you for what is coming. Sometimes people imagine that change will arrive with a loud announcement, but often the greatest shifts begin quietly, with a new sense of peace, a new level of clarity, and a renewed confidence that something good is unfolding. You may not know exactly what the shift will look like yet, but you can feel that something is different. Stay attentive, stay hopeful, stay open. The season that once felt stagnant is beginning to move. The path that once seemed uncertain is beginning to reveal itself. The door that once seemed distant is beginning to come into view. Your story is not stuck. Your life is not paused. A shift is coming, and the growth you have experienced during this waiting season will make you ready to step into it with confidence. Before you leave, like this video, subscribe to God Says Daily, and share this message with someone who needs to hear that change is closer than they think. Something new is beginning. Even now, the shift that is approaching your life will not only change circumstances around you, it will also reveal the strength that has been quietly growing within you. When you look back at the road behind you, you may notice that the journey itself prepared you more than you expected. Every delay carried a lesson. Every disappointment shaped your perspective. Every moment of uncertainty strengthened your ability to trust. Nothing about this season was wasted. There were times when you believed progress had stopped. Times when you thought your prayers were being ignored. But while you were watching the surface, deeper work was taking place beneath it. The person you are becoming today is capable of handling what the past version of you could not. That is why the waiting mattered. Many people ask for change, but they are not prepared to manage it when it arrives. They want the door to open immediately, without realizing that the new path requires new strength. They want the opportunity quickly, without understanding that responsibility comes with it. But you have been growing. You have been learning patience instead of panic. You have been learning discernment instead of impulsiveness. You have been learning trust instead of control. These lessons will guide you when the shift begins to unfold. You may already be noticing subtle signs, small moments of clarity, unexpected encouragement, a renewed sense of motivation that seemed absent before. These signals often appear just before the next season begins. They remind you that change is not only possible, it is already forming. If this message is strengthening your hope, take a moment to like this video. It helps this encouragement reach others who are waiting for their own breakthrough. You do not need to force this shift. You do not need to chase it or create it through pressure. Change that is meant for you arrives naturally, often in ways you did not plan, but recognize immediately when they appear. There will be moments soon when you realize something that once felt impossible is now within reach. Doors that seemed permanently closed will begin to open in unexpected ways. Conversations that once felt uncomfortable will lead to new understanding. These are the moments when you recognize that the shift has begun. And when that happens, you will also recognize how perfectly timed it was. If it had come earlier, you would have doubted yourself. If it had arrived before you gained the wisdom you now carry, you might have walked away from it too soon. But now you are different. You are calmer under pressure. You are clearer in your decisions. You are more aware of what truly matters. These qualities will help you navigate what comes next. Some shifts bring opportunity. Others bring direction. Sometimes the change appears as a new path you never expected to walk. But whatever form it takes, the purpose behind it will align with the growth you have experienced. You are stepping into a season that reflects who you have become. There will still be challenges ahead, but they will not defeat you. They will simply reveal the resilience you already possess. The fears that once seemed overwhelming will begin to look smaller when you realize how much stronger you have become. That realization will bring confidence. If you want to continue receiving messages that strengthen your faith during seasons of change, subscribe to God Says Daily so you do not miss the encouragement meant for you. The shift coming into your life is not about sudden perfection. It is about movement. Movement forward. Movement into new opportunities. Movement away from the stagnation that once made you feel stuck. You may still feel moments of uncertainty, but uncertainty does not mean you are lost. It simply means you are walking into something new. And new beginnings often require courage. Remember how far you have already come. Remember the obstacles you once believed would stop you completely. Remember the nights when you wondered how you would continue, and yet you did. Those experiences built strength that will support you now. The future ahead of you is not empty. It is unfolding. Soon you will look back at this season and understand why patience was necessary. You will see how every step prepared you for the moment when everything finally began to move again. Until then, stay steady, stay hopeful, stay open to the opportunities that begin appearing in front of you. Change does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it begins with a single new step, a single conversation, or a single decision that leads you onto a new path. That is how many shifts begin. Quietly, naturally, exactly when the time is right. If you know someone who feels stuck or discouraged, share this video with them. It may remind them that their story is still moving forward too. You are not standing still forever. You are not forgotten in this moment. You are not trapped in the past. You are approaching a new chapter. And when the shift arrives fully, you will recognize how every moment of waiting prepared you to step into it with confidence. Before you leave, like this video, subscribe to God Says Daily and share this message with someone who needs to know that change is coming. Your season is changing. Your path is opening. A shift is coming, and you are ready for it.